Hi, welcome back and thanks for watching again. My name is Rito. So recently I had the opportunity to borrow this pedal here. This is the Ibanez Session-Man, the first version, the SS10. There's also an SS20. But I think this is the more popular of the two. And the prices for this pedal has gone through the roof, and well, I guess not through the roof compared to something like a Klon or a Tube Screamer, but they are pretty sought after and expensive on the secondhand market. So I was able to borrow this from my best friend and amazing guitar player. Props. And so I was playing around with it. So instead of doing a straight up pedal demo playthrough, of which there are plenty on YouTube for this pedal, I thought I'd do something fun. This pedal is said to be inspired by the Rat circuit, and so I thought I'd do a fun shootout between this and two other Rat inspired or Rat clone pedals. So we'll do a straight up distortion tone, sort of the sweet spot for any Rat style pedal. And then the Rat pedal also can do a very nice crunch overdrive tone if you really turn down the overdrive. And it has the sparkly, because the Rat shaves off a lot of the low end, it has a sparkly, open, nice overdrive tone. So we're going to do that and compare some crunch overdrive tones between three pedals. And then in the end, we're going to max out the gain and see how hard it goes and how far into fuzz territory these pedals go. So anyway, it's going to be a straight up comparison using looped guitar samples like I always do. And so please share your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoy the shootout, and as always, thanks for watching. So before we go into the loop comparison, I just want to briefly talk about each pedal and what's going on here. So we'll start off with this one. This is a Rat clone that I built. It's based on the Rat circuit that's floating around on the web. So it's an exact clone of that circuit or that schematic that's floating around. And I used an NOS LM308, a metal can LM308. And so this is the gain knob, this is the level knob, and this is the tone knob. It looks like I have it connected to a power supply, but I actually have it connected to a battery right now. We are powering it up with batteries just to avoid any additional noise. This switch over here is a switch that I added. In the up position, it's your silicon diode, so that's your regular Rat clipping circuit. In the middle position, it's going to be no clipping diodes, and in the bottom position, it's going to be LEDs in the clipping circuit. And this is the Guiatone PS033. I made a full video going into the schematic and playing through this pedal in another video, so if you're interested in learning more about this pedal, please check out that video. I'll have it linked in the description below. So we're not going to go into the details today, but it is inspired by the Rat circuit. It's not exactly a clone as we saw in that video. And the interesting thing is that it has a level knob to blend in your clean tone. And this switch here is a switch that I added because it was originally designed for bass. There's just way too much low end in the circuit, so it doesn't sound anything like a Rat straight out of the box. So I go into detail in that other video, but if you change the value of a capacitor in the circuit, you get much closer to a Rat pedal. And so this switch flicks between three different capacitor values, and in the middle position that I have right now is going to be the closest sounding to an actual Rat. And so for today, we're going to have the clean blend turned all the way down, and this is the output level for your distortion and the gain and the tone or filter knob. And finally, we have the Ibanez Session-Man. This is a very famous and popular pedal, said to be a derivative or inspired by the Rat circuit. And as you can see, there's actually a chorus built into it, and there's a series mode and a parallel mode. When you have the switch in the parallel mode with the chorus turned all the way down, that's going to be pretty much just the distortion circuit. And so that's what we have going on here today. And so we're going to compare this against the other two pedals as strictly a straight up distortion pedal. So all three pedals are inspired by or a derivative or clone of the Rat pedal. And so it's going to be interesting to hear how different they sound or how similar they sound. And so let's just jump into that loop comparison and hear what's going on. And so another interesting thing that I'd like to point out is the rat circuit by design is going to get darker as you increase the gain. And I'll try to pop up a frequency response curve on the screen right now. But as you increase the gain, you get more mids and more low end. The treble kind of stays the same, but you get more mids and more low end. And also the peak frequency shifts towards the mids or the lower mids. So you'll notice that as you increase the gain, the pedal gets really dark. And the opposite is also true. So as you decrease the gain, you're going to get a brighter tone. And that's going to be very obvious when we try to do sort of a crunch overdrive tone with these three pedals. Okay, and so next I'd like to go into a max gain comparison, and as I said earlier, the frequency response is going to change, and so the pedals are going to get darker, but we're not going to bother trying to match the tone level. So we're going to keep the tone knobs where they are right now, but we're going to max out the gain. And before we do any looped playing samples, let's just listen to the noise floor with the gain maxed out. Again, all three pedals right now are connected to batteries, although this looks like it's connected to a power supply. It's an actual battery. And this has a battery inside, and this has a battery inside. So they're all powered by batteries. And let's hear how noisy they are with the gain maxed out.